Okay. All right, everybody. So today, like I said, we are going to go over time management and how to really manage your business or really manage your life in general, right? By utilizing this skill. It's so incredibly important that we really apply this skill in everything that we do, especially when you're running a business or multiple businesses, right? A lot of people ask me, how do you find the time? How do you find the time to be in chats or to do trainings or to do X, Y, and Z, right? And really what it is utilizing this skill. So I'm going to kind of walk through what we do, how we keep things organized, and all of that stuff. All right. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the benefits, right? So the benefits of time management.
And the number one is stress relief. Making and following a task schedule reduces anxiety. As you check off items on your to-do list, you can see what you are making tangible progress. This helps you avoid finding stress out with worry about whether you're getting things done.
So you guys ever feel that? Like you're like, oh, there's so much to do. And then at the end of the day, you're like, I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. I didn't get blah, 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 blah done, right? And you're like, what the heck? Now I got to add it to tomorrow. Like I got to do all this stuff. And you feel this sense of like being tense in your shoulders. Maybe you get a headache. Maybe you get a migraine, something of that nature, right? Because you're so stressed out because you feel like there's the weight of the world on your shoulders and you're not really sure how to navigate it. So just like, Justin is saying, this can absolutely help that stress relief.
Number two is more time. Good time management gives you extra time to spend in your daily life. People who can time manage effectively enjoy having more time to spend on hobbies or personal pursuits.
That's the key right there. That right there is you get more time. Do you ever find yourself saying, I have to find time? I have to find time. That's because you're not organizing your day. In reality, it's not like you're going to find an extra hour in the day, right? It's not like all of a sudden you magically get 25 or 26 hours in the day. Everyone has 24 hours a day, and that's what we get, right? That's our allotted time for the day. Now, what you do within those 24 hours and how you organize it is really what makes the difference, right? So it's not that somebody magically found an extra hour, it's that they literally organize their time in a way where part of their time management is spending time on their hobbies. It is spending time with family. It is going out to dinner. It is that kind of stuff, right? You can still have a personal and fun life while managing your time. Now, a lot of people think, I'm running a business, so I have to work all hours of the day, right? Or I don't have time for that. I only can do personal stuff. That's probably the worst thing that you could do for your business, is saying, I don't have time, and push it off, right? Because you didn't schedule it in. And the reality is that most people work 9-to-5 jobs. And when you do, what are you doing in that time? Your boss has that time organized for you. What are you going to do? Let's say you work at a fast food place. Are you going to be on the cashier box for 2 hours and then go into the to go window, right, for another 2 hours? That's time management. They're literally allotting the time on what you're going to do, right? If you work in an office, maybe it's like I used to be an event sales manager, right? So I had to manage my own time then too. But in the morning, I spent an hour going through emails, right? That's checking your Telegram. That's checking your Facebook Messenger. That's checking, any emails that come from the company. That's what you can spend on the first hour of the day. You just get through that, right? And
it's kind of like when I was bartending, the time that I wasn't making drinks, I was prepping fruit, checking dates, this and that and that. So it's always something for you to do until you're actually working.
Right. So that you can prepare for the next thing, right? So here in this business, what can you do in order to make your life a lot easier? And I got to meet somebody's line. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So next. All right. I'm just going to take the ability off. Hold on 1 second. That's where you're. Okay. There we go.
Number 3 is more opportunities. Managing time well leads to more opportunities and less time wasted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I totally put that up.
trivial activities. Good time management skills are key qualities that employers look for. The ability to prioritize and schedule work is extremely desirable for any organization.
Okay, so managing time leads to more opportunities, right? So what does that mean for you? Does that mean when you manage your time, you're actually being more effective? That's really what it comes down to, right? You're being more effective in whatever it is that you're doing because you're focused on the task at hand rather than being kind of all over the place and thinking I got to do this over here, this over there, this over there, right? I'm a great multitasker. He knows that. I'm constantly multitasking. I'm having a conversation over here and having a conversation over there. Is that good? Not necessarily.
I'm baffled sometimes. I'm like, what?
It's not necessarily good and not everybody can multitask. But at the same time, you know, it's allowing, because when I know I can laser focus on something, I can get it done pretty darn fast. Just like for those of you who were in the team building class yesterday, we were laser focused on creating our list, and it took us 8 minutes to come up with 40 names because we were laser focused, right? So that's what it means by more opportunities.
Number 4, ability to realize goals. Individuals who practice good time management are able to better achieve goals and objectives and do so in a shorter length of time.
Awesome. So realizing your goals, that's obviously a big deal, right? And we're going to go over obviously writing goals and all of that stuff. So, okay.
How do we achieve this?
Here I am multitasking.
Set goals correctly, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.
So that is SMART. You guys see the acronym there? Everybody should be writing this down. I want you to have your notes, okay? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. That is SMART. Okay, so we're going to go through that in a minute.
Not like smarter, not harder.
Working smarter, not harder. That's right. Actually did a training on that on the other business.
Prioritize wisely. Prioritize tasks based on importance and urgency. For example, look at your daily tasks and determine which ones are important and urgent. Do these tasks right away. Important, not urgent. Decide when to do these tasks. Urgent, but not important. Delegate these tasks if possible, and not urgent and not important. Set these aside to do later.
So this is obviously very important, right? Prioritizing. As far as delegating, it may be a little difficult to delegate to someone in this business. However, if you have a team member or team members and you're attempting to do something for your organization, that's where you start to delegate, right? Let's say that it is a team building thing. Like you can't really delegate for someone to learn trading for you, right? You have to do that. But let's say, you know, you want to do the team building side and you're like, I don't know if I can get to this, right? If you have a partner, whether it be your older children, a sibling, a spouse, whatever the case may be, utilize them to help you, right? Like Justin, that's how he started to get involved because I became overwhelmed myself and I was like, hey, can you go ahead and handle this for me? Right. And then I taught him what he needed to do, and then he would handle this for me. And that was off my list. I didn't have to deal with it. Right. So utilize a partner whenever you can. But obviously, if you can't, then you want to prioritize them based on urgent, not important. Okay. And how do you do that? Essentially, you're going to start creating a list and write down what you need to do for the day, right? Is it contact prospects? Is it attend a training? Is it, create another list for leads? Is it put in a trade, whatever? And you have to incorporate your personal life as well, right? Is it, pick up kids from school? Is it, do homework, what is it?
Common Core.
Common Core math with my kids. That might take up a lot of time. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? And you want to prioritize your list.
Set a time to complete tasks. Setting time constraints for completing tasks help you
Okay.
helps you be more focused and efficient. Making small extra efforts to decide on how much time you need to allot for each task can also help you recognize uh, potential problems before they arise. The way you can is to make plans for dealing with them.
That way you can.
Oh, for dealing with them.
Yeah, that way you can plan, right? So how do you incorporate this in what we do? Okay. So for example, let's say you need to get your social media up and running. Let's say you need to get Facebook and the algorithms correctly, and you need to post and you have to comment and all of that stuff that goes into getting your social media to where it needs to be, right? You need to set yourself an allotted time to actually get that done. So for example, let's say um as just for training purposes, the first hour of your day, you're going to set up a time to get up, right? You have to treat this like a job. If when you have a job and you have to go clock in and clock out, you have to be up by a certain time, right? I do that with myself. I do that with my team. I have to be up, and on Zoom, I hold myself accountable to be on Zoom at 8 a.m. every day during the week. I treat it like a job, as if I'm clocking in, right? So whatever it is that you want to make yourself accountable for the first thing in the morning, get that done. Say, okay, I'm going to wake up Monday through Friday. Because it's so easy to sleep in right now, especially if we're not working, right? I'm going to wake up Monday through Friday and be on either my computer or on my phone by whatever time that is, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever you feel is best, right? And then you start planning out your day. From 9 to 9:30, I'm going to go through all the chats. I'm going to make sure that I go through my email. From 9:30 to 10, I'm going to post something on Facebook, and I'm going to wish everybody a happy birthday on Facebook. Every birthday that there is, right? From 10 a.m. to 10:30, I'm going to do the same thing, but on Instagram. From 11 a.m. to noon, I'm going to create a new video for YouTube. Do you guys see what I'm saying? You need to start planning out the day and setting the time constraints so that you know how long you allotted yourself to do this, right? And let's say you allotted 11 to 12 to make a video and it's taking you longer. You may now have to table that for the next day, right? Okay, so I got this done. It didn't happen in an hour. I don't want to throw my schedule off. So let me go ahead and table that for now. It's not urgent, right? So let me table that for now and move it to tomorrow and finish it. And then you allot yourself another time.
Take a break before your mental breaks.
I say that all the time.
When doing a lot of tasks without a break, it's harder to stay focused and motivated. Allow some downtime between tasks to clear your head, eat, and refresh yourself.
Why do you say it like that?
Consider grabbing a brief nap for a short walk or meditating.
Okay, you guys want to know something funny? Our founder, he actually takes naps throughout the day, and it keeps him energized throughout the day, but he puts a time constraint on it. It's not like he takes a nap and then he's down for 3 hours. He takes like a 30-minute nap, and he just lets his brain rest, right? And I always say, take a break before your mental breaks, because I will actually come out of my office and I'll go into the living room and I'm like, I need a break because my mental is about to break, right? Y'all ever feel that way? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys are hearing what I'm saying. Go ahead and give me a 111 in the chat box if you guys are understanding what it is that we're saying so far.
Yeah, it's almost like that Snicker commercial. Let me hear.
So the reason why he's saying and eat is because even though I take breaks, I sometimes forget to eat, although you couldn't tell based on my phone.
She'll come out the room and then she's taking a break, but she's on her phone, so she doesn't fit in any food. So
he just makes sure that I eat, and clearly he feeds me well. But it's really important, right? So schedule that in. Let's say, just like, again, if you were working a 9 to 5, you would work from 8 to maybe 10 and take a 15-minute break, and then 10:15 to noon, and then you would have your lunch break, and then from 1 to 2:30, then you would take another 10-minute break, etc. Right? You need to have short little breaks, but make sure that they have a time specific limit on them. Okay. Like from this time to this time, I'm going to take a break. Right. As leaders, anybody who is a leader in the company, sometimes we know that our breaks get interrupted. It is what it is. But at some point in the day, you do need to do this. Look, put it away. There's sometimes where I'll sit on the couch and I'm like, okay, I'm done for the next 30 minutes. I'm done, right? Because I need to get a mental break because I don't want to, you know, have my mental break. There's no other way to put it.
Organize your calendar for more long-term time management. Write down the deadlines for projects or for tasks that are part of completing the overall project. Think about which days might be best to dedicate to specific tasks.
So I'm going to show you guys something. You want to grab it off the wall? I'm going to show you guys something. This is really, really important for you guys to do this on a personal level. Okay. We all know that we have our calendar for team wide, right? Or maybe you have your team calendar and then we have EE Legacy calendar. And then we also have the Epic calendar, right? That's a lot of calendars and they're kind of here and there and there and there, right? What I suggest that you do, and this is actually my training and the trainings that I personally host. Okay, this is my calendar for it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys can see. Let me go ahead and in the video or spotlight. There we go. Okay, so this is what I have. Okay, you guys can see. I'm already planning out December. Here's my life, right? Here's the end of November. I'm already into December. Okay, and I always put some motivation stuff on there. Like you can see here, work hard for yourself so you don't have to work hard for someone else, right? Your team depends on you. These are all things that keep me personally motivated. But I have to write things down and color coordinate. And you know, I've never been this organized in my life. Okay, can I just say that? Like I had to learn this skill. This is not something that I've always had or always done. Okay, this is something that I have literally learned. This is something that I've literally learned throughout my career. So this is something that everybody should get in the practice too. And I'm telling you, this has helped me so much. So I literally go through and write down everything that I have for the month, right? These are all my personal Zooms that I'm hosting. And then what I do is I start to fill it in. Let's say I do a one-on-one with an agent, then I go ahead and fill it in. Like you can see here, I am starting to add a couple more things. I know this looks like a little bit of a mess, but you know, I have a one-on-one now with an agent over here. I have my team meeting. Like I have a bunch of different stuff that I have going on for the rest of November. And then here's December. Now at the end of December, I'll do the same thing. This will be January, and then I'll put December over here, right? So this is something that you need to visually see in order to keep yourself organized and not feel that stress, right? Not feel that stress of like, oh my gosh, what do I have going on for today?
Notice that sometimes you'll double book yourself so you can actually see it.
You gotta say it right here.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I said it's good that you when you have a calendar because you can see if you're scheduled yourself two places at one time. So then you can, like earlier you did.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, let me go ahead and stop spotlighting my video. What he's saying is that I am very known for double booking myself. And then I'm like, whoops, my bad, right? And that's because I wasn't organized. So I needed to get organized. That was really important. Because sometimes, you know, people throw out times. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. That seems like a good time for me, right? And then all of a sudden, it's not a good time because I go and look and lo and behold, I'm already scheduled. So really important to have that.
Remove non-essential tasks. It is important to remove excess activities or tasks. Determine what is significant and what deserves your time. Removing non-essential tasks / activities frees up more of your time to be spent on genuinely important things.
Right. So what would be a non-essential task? Go ahead and give me some ideas in the chat box. What would be non-essential?
Right. Taking a nap.
Well, I mean, I
or
guess unless
watching
it's your
or
break time.
watching your favorite show, watching a movie,
Okay.
things that you can watch later.
Okay. Yeah. TV. Everybody's putting TV. TV. Yep. Yeah.
My
Right.
my thing is sports.
Lindsay, apparently eating is an essential task, according to my husband. Playing video games. Yes, Jenny, exactly. Dishes, right? I think that's a non-essential task. I don't know, but schedule your
You have to get a dishwasher.
that's true, right? But you can schedule that in as far as dishes and house cleaning, right? You got to get some house cleaning done. Like, all right, from 4 to 5, this is going to be my house cleaning time, and nobody else is going to interrupt it, so I can just get it done, right? Playing video games. Oh my gosh, right? That is time consuming. That will literally. How many of you guys play video games and you're like, oh, I'm just going to play for 30 minutes, and all of a sudden,
I was known for that. So 30 minutes is like 5 hours.
exactly. 30 minutes turns into 5 hours quick. You look up and you're like, oh my gosh, it's 5 p.m.
I used to play I used to get off, and then when I get up, I used to look at the outside. I'm like, the sun's coming up. Oh shoot, I gotta turn it off. I gotta work.
Right. So that's something that you don't want to happen. So how can you, unless it's for business, how can you still do the non-essential task as a break, but not have it consume your time? Everyone has a phone. Everyone has an alarm on their phone.
And every gaming system has a clock on that gaming system, so it's like it's not hard to.
But can you set an alarm on that clock?
I'm sure you can. Or you can set on your timer on your TV.
Okay,
You
timer on TV, alarm clock on your phone, but you can't ignore it. Okay, it can't be an alarm on your phone and then you hit the snooze button and you're like, okay, I'll just
Another 10 minutes.
that doesn't work. You have to almost be very self-disciplined in the sense of saying, you know what, I want to play this video game, I'm going to, and actually I got a lot of stuff done today, so it's now a reward, right? But I don't want it to consume my whole day, because this video game is not going to make me any money, right? Let's be real. Watching TV and playing a video game doesn't add any dollars into your bank account, so that should be a non-essential task, right? So you set yourself a time limit so you can still have the fun, but it's not completely overrunning your life, and then you kind of find yourself in a space of, oh, I didn't have time for it.
Yeah, kids got me off video games. Having kids made me like, all right.
Okay, here's another thing. How do you handle it when you have children? Ooh.
I'd start, and then they start crying. I turn it off. Unplug it. Put it in the
No,
box.
I'm talking about your work.
Oh, work. You gotta take advantage of those naps.
That's right. Right there. Most toddlers take naps, right? Most toddlers go to sleep at a specific time. Utilize the time that you know for a fact that your kids are going to be busy or doing something else, and utilize that time for your business. When I first started the travel business, man, I he wasn't home and I had a lot on my plate. I had the kids and everything. I had my teenagers at school, so really it was me. And I would work it around nap time. Now let's say that they're awake. Like, for example, Lena's toddlers doesn't take naps anymore. Okay, no worries. What do they do? When is their downtime? When do they, what can you entertain them with so that you can get some work done, right? That's really what it is. What would be happening if you had a job? What would they be doing, right? Would they be going to a sitter? I mean, we don't want to pay for a sitter, but
like a movie,
a playroom, setting them up to color, those kind of things where you can work right beside them. Sometimes, my kids, because Bella has gotten out of the phase of really not wanting to take naps anymore. So she'll get her tablet and pretend she's on a computer right next to me. You know what I mean? She really likes to do that. Or there's been times where I'm sitting right here in my office and I have to get some stuff done, and I pretend it's bring your daughter to work day. What do I do? Even he'll come in and try to, obviously help me and get her out. And I'm like, no, leave her. It's okay. Right. Because I also am doing this from home so that I can be with my kids. So what do? I scoop my laptop over from my desk and I put my children right next to me coloring. You know, hey, baby, you color this picture and I can color with you a little bit too. And in the meantime, I'm also getting some work done. So there's ways that you can work it out as a parent, right? It's about still being there for your children, of course. Obviously, we have to pause and make lunch and all of that stuff, but make it in a way to where you're kind of gelling it together. I hope that makes sense. All right, moving on.
Plan ahead. Make sure you start every day with a clear idea of what you need to do, what needs to get done that day. Consider making it a habit to at the end of each workday. Go ahead and write out your to-do list for the next workday. That way you can hit the ground running the next morning.
That right there is probably the most powerful thing, right? What did you get accomplished? First of all, when you have a list and you're able to cross things off your list, that's a good feeling. That means that you are actually moving yourself forward. You are progressing, right? When you don't have a list and you're like exhausted at the end of the day, but you don't really even know what you did for the day, right? Then you're like, you kind of feel like, is this even worth it? You start talking to yourself, self-doubt comes in, all of that stuff, right? So when you have a list and you can accomplish things and cross them off, it's probably the most powerful thing psychologically. And psychologally pays a lot in an independent business, right? When you are an independent business owner. That's right. Exactly. So at the end of the day, remember how I was saying, if you were going to make a YouTube video, for example, and you allotted an hour to do so, but you didn't get it done in that hour, what's going to happen for the next day's list? You're going to write again, finish YouTube video, and you're going to allot yourself a specific amount of time to get it done, right? It doesn't mean that you have to rush through the task to get it done in that time. It means, unless it's like a hardcore deadline, but it means that you need to allot the time. And if you didn't get it done, then just move the rest over to the next day so that you're not super stressed out, right? Think about what kind of hours you want to hold for your business. Is it 9 to 5? Is it, 12 to 8? Is it, I don't know, 3 p.m. to 5 a.m.? Whatever works for you. It doesn't need to necessarily be specific work hours, right? If it's that you have kids and like, for example, if your kids don't take naps, well, what time do they wake up in the day? Do they wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning? You might need to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get a couple hours of work done, right? That's what I did. Justin knows. He would get up to work when I first started the other business, the travel side. He would get up to go to work sometimes 5:30, 6 a.m., right? At the crack of dawn. Okay, then they must go to bed early. There has to be a time in there where either you're up and they're down or something like that, right? But my kids woke up pretty early, like around 8 or 8:30 or something.
Yeah, now it's like teenagers. We're gonna 10 or 11.
But I'm talking about
yeah.
then.
So my alarm would go off. I'd wake up, start coffee. She'd wake up at the same time. I'd jump in the shower, and she would start her work day.
And when it first started happening, he was like, what are you doing? Aren't you going to sleep in? The kids are still sleeping. And I'm like, nope, got to go to work. If you're going to work, I'm going to work. Right. And he was like, really?
All right.
Okay. Right. But what did that do? That put my mindset in a completely different space. I treated my business like I would treat work. And in turn, the results that I had were phenomenal, right? I became a 1-star platinum in the other organization, very blessed to have done that. And now here we are doing it again, right? We got to get in that it's a groove, but it's a mindset of this is my work, right? So for example, if your kids get up at 7, then you get up at 5. You see what I'm saying? And you make that a priority. And for those 2 hours, you laser focus on work, you get your stuff that you need to get done. And by the time your kids get up, you're with your kids for the next couple hours, whatever your plan is, right? Then when they go down for lunch or a movie or time to relax or whatever, right? Then you work a little bit more. Then you do in the evening after dinner, because we got to cook dinner and do all that stuff, right? So then maybe it's after dinner, after you put them down for bed, then you do a little bit more work. at that point, if you add up the hours, it's really, let's see, 2 hours in the morning, maybe an hour in the afternoon, and a couple hours at night. So you're working, what, 5 hours a day? What kind of other job is going to let you do that and have the kind of income results that we have here, right? But it's only can happen when we plan ahead. Oh, that was the last one. Okay, so that was the last of our slides, you guys. Do you guys have any questions as far as time management goes? It didn't take as long as I thought it would. So we're going to be on for a full hour. Any questions, anything that I can help with, that we can help with as far as, or maybe giving a different kind of perspective, anything like that as far as time management is concerned? They're all really quiet.
Are they managing their time? Yeah, why not?
You want to start putting them in? All right. Well, I guess there's no questions, so I guess we better do something fun. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, you guys. Yes, absolutely. We're going to do something fun. Don't jump off the line. Hold on one tiny second. Give us about 5 minutes or so. But thank you guys so much for coming. Let me go ahead and stop this recording.